Hi, Kate Ham from Anand Bliss, and today I want to talk about why you should go through a yoga teacher training. Personally, I did not expect to become a yoga teacher at all. I was a full-on science personal trainer person who really got into yoga because I could barely touch my knees with straight legs. I am still the least flexible yoga teacher most people will ever take a class with, and that for me is fine. That is who I am. That is my body. I'm still fascinated by the human body, how it works, and ultimately the cool thing about yoga for me, it changes your mind. I found out when I was practicing yoga, taking classes, I had better days. I was happier. I wasn't as stressed out. And even though I didn't expect to do a teacher training, I actually had a friend encourage me, and it took a while to find one that fit with me because a lot of them had requirements to do poses that I didn't want to have in my practice. So my yoga teacher training has no requirements besides you want to come and you want to deepen a practice. It helps if you have a yoga experience and have been practicing for a bit, because ultimately if you haven't been practicing, why the hell are you coming? You don't know what yoga can do. It's a huge investment. Okay, so you're either coming to yoga teacher training because you want to teach, you want to share your passion with others. Awesome. We're going to help you find your voice. We're going to have we want you to take what yoga is and make it your own. What is important to you, and how can you get other people excited also? That's going to be our focus. How can you teach others? Then there is a reason you may not want to teach at all. I know people who took yoga teacher trainings, they've never taught, or maybe they taught for a bit, but that's it. So you're more than welcome to come too, because here's where we can learn the philosophy of yoga. To be honest, in most classes that you're going to take, you have no time to touch on yoga, the philosophy. Especially, there's 8 limbs. 8 limbs. You know how much we practice in class? 1. We usually tend to teach primarily asanas, hatha. We may get some pranayama. You may get a little bit of philosophy sprinkled in there, but in general, you probably heard there are 8 limbs of yoga, know nothing about them. You're going to learn. You're also going to learn how to find the poses in your body and how to identify poses in other people's bodies as well, because no one pose is going to be the same. And I don't care if you have the most Instagram-worthy pose in the world, not everyone is going to. As I mentioned, least flexible yoga teacher right here. My pose is never, ever, ever gonna look like a lot of these Instagram yoga superstars. That's fine. It's my practice. It's my body. I know a bunch of yoga teachers who've been recovering from injuries from yoga. Let's talk about how we can prevent that. Let's talk about being safe, but in a way that is right. It's not about, oh, if you can never do this, you can never let that knee cross over your toes. It's going to kill you. Your knee is not going to pop out if you have the right control. If you don't, so we'll talk about these. There's also an aspect of when you teach, you get to learn more. I love the watch one, do one, teach one philosophy, because when I am teaching something, all of a sudden so many things click into place. It's like, oh, that's the practice. I left my degree in exercise science not realizing I have no freaking clue how to put this in practice. I had to teach more, and now that's where I am. So come join me for yoga teacher training. I've got one in Worcester where we're going to learn all kinds of stuff. You have more questions, feel free to ask. Shoot me a question, a DM, and I will give you an answer. Thank you guys.